Hello everyone, sorry about that. Seems we've had some technical difficulties at our end. Welcome to D&D Self-Diceolation. I am joined by the same cast as last week. We've got Richard Badger playing Bagerac, the Half-Orc Barbarian. Playing Faix, the Changeling Blood Hunter. Lacey playing Jameson, James, the Aarakocra Ranger. Oakley playing Lours, the Kalashtar Druid. Is there an echo? We got an echo?
No.
Echo? No. Okay. Audio seems to be holding up now. We've got Shawball playing Relaxio, the 1T Pure Blood Warlock. Jen playing Shathas, our Dragonborn Artificer. And Belle playing Natasha Bardingfield, the Halfling Bard.
Good evening, Dice Roll fans.
Good evening indeed.
Right. I can't see you.
Shenanigans aside, at the end of last session, our adventurers had found themselves in the town of Stoutwood's Rest, having successfully diverted a rogue band of Modrons under the control of a creature posing as their leader. It transpired that this creature, calling itself Valence, had been hired by a resident of the town called Galvin, owner of Galvin's Mechanical Repairs and Pizzeria. Relaxio's brother, Magemak, was lost in the prior conflict, having been teleported away by the Modrons to whereabouts unknown. Inside Stoutwood's Rest, our adventurers confronted Galvin, who had constructed a control device to operate the giant statue in the centre of town. A fight ensued, and through their efforts, slew Galvin and put a stop to the immediate threat. The wary townsfolk, thankful but somewhat apprehensive at the display of brutal force, offered them accommodation for the next few days in gratitude for saving their town. Although they suspect this may also be because the townspeople are terrified of upsetting you and incurring your wrath. During this bit of downtime, Bagerac and James found a bandit camp a short distance outside the town who were holding a high-stakes bare-knuckle tournament. Both came out with reasonable success and some gold for their efforts. Faye tagged along to play some side bets as well as challenging their more cerebral members to a few games of dragon chess, netting a tidy pouch of winnings. Natasha once again took on her guise as the Duchess of Faix and spent several days carousing with the locals, making good friends with the local alchemist and head of the town guards. The former providing Lours with a workspace and the latter permitting Shathas to use Galvin's workshop. Lours set to work weaving a basket and collecting up some herbs and other reagents, spending the next few days with a local apothecary brewing up some healing potions. Shathas used the remaining tools in Galvin's Mechanical Repairs and Pizzeria to make some permanent additions to her mechanical bear. Now going by Sir Theodore Bear Esquire, the Steel Defender now features several cosmetic upgrades, as well as a fold-out workbench and hatch containing a tiny mechanical servant made from Modron scrap and a salvaged power core. Relaxio, still deeply affected by the loss of his brother, fell back into a pattern of petty theft and pickpocketing that allowed the brothers to survive their harsh early years as outcasts within Yuan-Ti society. His obvious grief, coupled with Natasha's relationship with the guard captain, gained him leniency when the authorities finally arrested him. No charges were brought forward, and the warlock was kept in the cells for a few days under the watch of the local clerics for his own protection. Over a week has passed since you ended the threat of the Modron March brought about by Galvin. The town of Stoutwood's Rest has set about making repairs and returning to business as normal. As you enjoy some well-earned downtime, a dwarf in robes approaches you. Those of you who have made efforts to get to know the townsfolk recognise this individual as Baradin Stoutheart, who is the head cleric of the Temple of the Noble Shield. Approaches you and says, "Thank you for all you have done for us. I was hoping you could be of some further assistance. The statue of our founder, Holy Stoutwood, means a great deal to our town, and to see it in such disrepair affects us all. We have plenty of guild crafters here to carry out the repairs, but the stone it is made of is spirit marble. Now, the only quarry that supplies spirit marble is owned by the Lionwhite family. We've sent requests, but so far have heard nothing back. None of our messengers have returned either. Please, would you travel to the Lionwhite Quarry and try to secure a shipment of spirit marble so we can repair our monument?"
Yeah, okay.
What do we get out of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what the big guys said.
Well, we can supply you with a cart and some oxen to make the journey and transport the goods back. I mean, we
currency to me.
We can't offer you any immediate rewards, but if there's anything specific that you require, we can certainly see about procuring that whilst you're away. The Lion White Quarry it's located north of here, and it's probably the better part of a day's journey away. I'd imagine you left sort of within the hour, you'd probably be able to make it before nightfall, but I can't imagine you'd make it back before at least tomorrow.
Well, I feel like you should definitely give us some provisions for it's going to take us that long.
Oh, certainly. We'll make sure that the oxen are well fed and there's additional supplies on the cart, and we'll certainly provide you with the necessary rations and supplies to make it through.
Ale, yes, I was going to say ale as well.
If that's what you require, I can certainly ensure that there is at least a cask or two on the.
It sharpens Badger's mind.
Well, I can certainly make sure that if it keeps you sharp on the journey, that there's at least a cask or two on the cart for you.
Very well.
Well, I don't know what the rest of my drink was.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I'm up for it. I'll go.
Let's do it.
Excellent. Well, I'll make the necessary arrangements and come back to you shortly. Thank you very, very much.
Not a problem. My mother always said, you break a statue, you make a statue.
Your mother was clearly a wise and fastidious woman when it came to civic maintenance.
No, I think she was really into clay, but never mind.
It's fair as well. I'll be back shortly. If you have any further questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And the dwarf wanders off to immediately to the nearby tavern to see about sorting out some road ale.
I'm always the one that just breaks the statues. I don't
You're as big as the statue, you don't count. Come on, team, let's galvanize our efforts together and get this stone.
No.
So just to go around the group whilst we're waiting for the dwarf to come back, Bagerac, what are you up to?
Just peering at the statue, seeing what's broken.
Okay. You can
All
see
of
this.
it. We smashed it up.
There's a huge amount of damage to the sort of lower half where you guys were able to attack it. And
I'm just trying to figure out how much of this stone we got to bring back. Like,
You're carrying it all.
I'm sure that Baradin would be able to fill you in on the details for quantities and such. But yes, there's a lot of damage on the sort of the lower half where it's been attacked. The upper half tends to be there's a few nicks and cuts where sort of ranged weapons have taken pot shots at it. The control dome that Galvin was using is still attached, and there's signs of where the metal has started to melt under the effect of magic. There's some acid burns and cuts in the glass there. Fortunately, the body of Galvin has been removed, and as you look at it, Bagerac, you just hear a voice in your head going, "That was going to be my prized work."
and like loudly, I say, "Shut up!" Everybody just thinks I'm talking to myself.
I just give him a look, like a slow kind of tilting look. If you look in the
Kind of like
Clearly, the alcohol's
assume-
wearing off.
Yeah.
You need another
assume
drink.
Family Guy is what I'm getting.
Faye,
take a
what are you up
step
to?
Way.
Well, I've been feeling really alert recently.
Super alert, some would say.
Yeah, really just.
It's almost a feature of you now.
Yeah, you could say that. I feel like you're just like high on caffeine all the time. So I'm just going to be kind of just mid-catting,
Cool.
like really wide-eyed, just looking around.
Super wiry
That
and
new
twitchy.
caffeine.
Yeah,
A new
Yeah.
caffeine mutagen you drank.
basically, yeah.
Fantastic. James, what are you up to?
Cool. I'm gonna hang around with Bagerac since our recent excavation.
two
That's
best
not the
buds
word
now.
I'm looking at. Excursion to we're best buds now that we've gone and beat people up in a random camp.
As they say, people who pit fight together. Stay
shit fight
together.
together.
Exactly. Everyone knows that well-known saying: "Those who pit fight together deck everyone in sight."
And I'm just stood there like telling this ring to shut up and shaking it.
Yeah, I'm going to take a visible step away because that's crazy even for Badger.
Excellent. Lours, what are you up to?
I'm just going to stay by the statue as well and read what the. I'm trying to remember what the plaque said, and I'm going to read it if I can't remember what said plaque said.
The inscription is miraculously intact because the statue managed to step down from its plinth before it started swinging at you guys. And the inscription reads, "Dedicated to Holy Stoutwood, founder of Stoutwood's Rest, champion of the people."
Holy
I don't know who
Stoutwood.
this Holy Stoutwood guy was.
Make me a history check.
Sounds like a torture.
If you're going to nat one, then you truly know the answer.
Oh, I thought that was for a second. It's a 7, so I got 9.
9, okay. You only really know of Holy Stoutwood as this sort of folk hero figure from maybe 100, 150 years ago. There's a lot of like local there's a lot of like local legend built up around him. How he held back an entire army with his shield, and how he slew a dragon single-handedly. There's a lot of these tall tales that have kind of evolved down the line as they've been passed on by word of mouth.
Sure.
All I'm hearing is that he deflected a lot of attacks with the shield, yet he didn't do any attacks really.
Sounds like
Yeah.
bollocks. I bet he had some halflings helping him out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who even knows? Relaxio, what are you up to?
I'm just sulking around the town,
Kicking pebbles.
yeah, kicking pebbles, asking
not
people
fair.
for stories. You know, like, have you seen any big metal people walking around? That usual kind of stuff. Typical teenager.
Yeah.
Teenager.
The townspeople are well aware that you're going through some stuff right now, so they're accommodating as much as they can be, but at the same time they're kind of giving you a bit of a wide berth where possible. So not
Yeah, I
necessarily-
don't blame them.
just like being polite but averting their gaze when they can.
Yeah, well, you can't all be as awesome as we got all Reactio, can you?
Shathas, what are you up to?
I'm just tinkering with a little servitor that I've named Gus, which is a genetic utility servitor, and like just tinkering around with the new workbench and Mecha Bear, trying to like spruce it up a little bit.
Okay.
Like, new clothes.
Gus is just kind of. Can you just describe Gus for us? Because I don't think we settled on a description.
He's just a tiny little robot, really. I'm gonna like add some more bits to him as and when I get a chance. I'm just trying to make sure everything works properly at the moment.
Okay.
So you look like the robot that is designed by Rick to pass him the butter.
I imagine him more of a mini Johnny Five.
I was going to say,
Johnny
from the discussions we had, in my head, he was sort of like just a sort of sphere with a kind of sort of face, just floats
So-
near you.
Is that like BB-8 then?
Let's see if we can drop some more brands in.
Yeah, sorry.
I think it's like Wally.
Well, that's the end of everything we've got time for today.
I'm not
I think
quite
he's
decided
Wally.
what his eventual shape's going to be. I'm just still tinkering at the moment.
Okay. Well, as it's floating around, you can hear it just. The rest of you can see this kind of little robot just kind of floating around, sort of watching what Shathas is up to, and just every so often making just weird little beeping and chirping noises. Sounds similar to the Modron speech that you heard when they were marching, but it only appears to make sort of two tones, almost like a very affirmative noise and a very negative noise. Natasha, what are you up to?
I'm going to see my friend the alchemist and just make sure that if any offspring he has, that they're safe and still very human.
Yeah. The alchemist is a female halfling.
Wonderful.
So immediately was welcoming to your presence.
Okay.
She
But-
was one of the exceptions to the rule when the town was evacuated, that she sort of stayed behind to kind of work on possible defences, but family were evacuated to safety of the various cellars and sort of deep storage under the town. And the attack happened. Over the week, you've got to know her, and she's got 2 kids. She's got a wife. And
neither of them
all
are like
them,
dogs now, are they?
No, all of them are
Yeah.
perfectly happy,
Okay, good.
healthy halflings.
I like
but
alchemist children that aren't dogs. Yeah.
They're just getting back to life as normal as it can be. So, about this point, Baradin comes back over to you. You're all gathered by the statue at this point. Says, well, cart's ready, supplies are on board, and I've included a map with some directions on there. It's a fairly straight run along the main road out of town. Just keep following it north. It's fairly well signposted, but as I say, I've just included a map for you just in case you do take a wrong turn by accident. Did you have any questions before you set out?
No. I'll drive the car. Gets on.
Okay, so Bagerac is already up on the cart with 2 fairly stoic oxen at the front.
Is there another seat on the cart? Because I'll jump up there if there's another one.
Yeah. Certainly, so Lours and Bagerac are up on the cart. The ox move at a little, not vastly over walking pace, so the rest of you, if you're walking alongside, you're not going to have a hard time keeping up on
I
there.
just
They're
Guys,
still
fancy with land vehicles, so I thought I'd drive.
You guys go
Yep.
on ahead. I'm just going to have a quick chat with this guy.
Okay, bye-bye.
there is sufficient room in the back of the cart for a few of you to sit down at a time. Basically, at any point, maybe 2 of you will have to be walking alongside it just to allow
Cool. I
for
get
a
first.
decent
I
amount
get
of room.
first dibs inside the wagon.
I'm
Try
going
and
inside the
small
wagon
and
to carry on
compact.
tinkering.
Mecha Bear can stay out the wagon.
No, he's my table. He needs to be stationary. So while I'm still tinkering with Gus.
I'm happy to walk.
Shit.
I presume that I was going to fly.
Still kicking pebbles.
Oh, I'm just throwing them at Bagerac now. Flicking
Driving.
pebbles at him.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so while the rest of you start to head off, Baradin turns to Faye and says, yes, anything I can help you with?
I just wanted to see if there was anything, if you had heard of anything or anyone passing through here that may or may not have had a tattoo on their arm similar to this, and then I'll show him my tattoo.
Takes a look at him and says, terribly sorry, I'm afraid I don't recognise that. Certainly I haven't seen anyone with anything similar. I'm afraid I can't help you with that.
Okay. Bye.
Oh well. Thank you again.
Just run off.
Just
Bye.
That's
Okay,
cool. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, bye. Cool. So, you're all aboard the cart as much as you're able to be. And the journey is completely uneventful.
Woohoo! That's what we like.
Follow the
we're,
road. There's signposts along the way pointing back towards Stoutwood's Rest, and after about maybe 4 hours of travel, you start seeing the signposts pointing towards the town of Quarryside, which is where your map indicates the mine is located. As you look on the map, you can see that eventually the path forks, and one track takes you onto the town of Quarryside, and one track takes you directly to the Lion White mine.
go to Quarry Side.
Someone say something, by the way. Sorry,
I was just gonna, as we were travelling along, I was going to ask around the group to who doesn't have any healing potions. Or does everyone already have them?
I
don't
do
think I
not have a
do.
healing potion.
Then I will dish out 2 of the
Yeah.
healing potions that I created in the week, one to Faye, one to Natasha.
Cool. So if you
Oh.
guys can go ahead and amend your inventories accordingly, please, and thank you.
Potion.
I like it when you talk dirty.
Ooh.
Potion of healing.
Yes.
So
Just a basic one.
Cool.
Supreme, right? Supreme? Supreme.
That would be
Thank you.
lovely, but that takes like a decade to make.
So as you carry on the journey, you eventually find the point where the path forks, and you can see it's quite clearly signposted, quarry side. And the signpost for the Lion White Mine is almost dominatingly larger than the sign for quarry side. And even from here, you can see the edge of the mine. There's some very high walls marking it out, where the nearby forests have been cleared away.
There could be gold in the mines.
Round about this time, sun's starting to set. So you made a decent clip getting there, but you reckon it will probably be dark within the hour or so.
Oh,
So have we taken the fork towards the Lion White Mine, have we?
Well, it's up to you. Bagerac, obviously you're driving, so you can...
Well, I'm just going to head towards Lion White because that's what I remember the name of.
Fair enough. So as the cart makes its way along the tracks towards the Lion White Mine, Lours and James, can you both just make me a perception check, please?
Uh-oh.
23.
Excellent. And Shathas, can you make me an intelligence check, please?
Yeah. 13.
Okay, excellent. Lours and James, both of you are immediately struck by how quiet it is for what you are reliably informed is an active mine.
Mhm.
Shathas, you, as soon as the walls came into view, you sort of perked up and went, industry. But are also noting this complete absence of noise. And you're kind of thinking, well, it is getting dark, but they should at least be, still working with the light they've got available. This doesn't seem right. And as you approach, as you follow the tracks up towards the mine, you can see in front of you are these incredibly high walls, maybe 30, 40 foot tall. And directly in where the track meets the walls are an enormous set of gates made of wood, barded with iron. And they are probably wide enough to allow 2 of the carts to come through. The front of the gates has a really large guardhouse set off to the side of it. And currently standing in front of the gates are 2 huge ogres.
Oh, shit.
And as you get closer, the most striking thing is that they are wearing the most incredibly well-tailored uniforms that you have ever seen on an ogre. Even in the setting light, you can see they're made of this very soft, expensive-looking fabric, and it's trimmed with fur, and it's got little details on. They've got little name badges. All of the buttons and various bits of hardware on them are like bright metal. And they're both wearing a pair of dark glasses each, which are these just oversized things.
Can I see their name badges?
Is there any symbols on them?
Yes,
Or
Hoblin and
crest or
Boblin.
Okay,
anything?
so Lours, if you can make me an investigation check, and Shathas, if you can do the same, please. The rest of you,
Oh, that's good.
the rest of you also notice that one of them is carrying an enormous crossbow, which looks like they've basically picked up a spare siege weapon. And
Ballista.
the other one has... Their left hand is completely normal. Their right hand has been replaced by this enormous spiked ball on a large metal gauntlet that's, again, looks incredibly expensive. It's not the sort of the crude metal work that you would expect from an ogre. Lours, what did you get on your investigation check?
19.
19. So, with that, you are able to make out their name badges. The one carrying the ballista, their name badge says Bashak.
Okay.
And the one with the replacement fist says Nashak. Shathas, what did you get?
It relates to Bagerac.
Say again, sorry. 11.
11.
You don't see any particular markings or any insignia on there.
Can I see any resemblance to Bagerac?
Look, I'm an orc, not a fucking ogre.
Oh. You might be half orc,
Yeah.
half ogre. I don't know.
Insist.
Possible.
What an orc.
I'm not even going to make you roll for that. Looking at the two of them, they are,
No.
whilst in the same way that there are similarities between humans, dwarves, elves, and halflings, there are minor similarities between features of Bagerac and features of the ogres, but they're so far removed that they wouldn't even be considered the same thing.
But he has got a really cool arm.
So,
I just
Are you
say
gonna
to
come-
Bagerac to slow down, slow the oxes down as we get.
are you
towards
gonna
them.
tell us their name? Do we know their names? Is this
Yeah.
be
Bashak
Bashak
and
and
Nashak.
Nashak.
lovely?
If you look at my screen,
As you pull the... Are you pulling the cart to a slow or a complete stop, sorry?
I'm just
I'm
going to stop.
encouraging
So
them to stop.
I'm going to slow down and stop so the oxen don't run off like that happened to our last lot.
So as it comes to a stop, the ogre with the crossbow just kind of nudges the other one, who sort of jerks up as if they were partially asleep, and sort of just pull their sunglasses down a little bit and just look over and go, "All right, can we help you?"
All right there, Bashak. All right there, Nashak. We are here on royal request from the town.
Remember
Oh,
you're a
shit,
woman,
that
yeah?
Yeah. Did you stop being posh?
Particularly manly woman.
Yeah.
I'm speaking ogre. Do you mind?
Apologies.
They are speaking. They're speaking to you in common.
Well, yeah, but like ogre common.
It's an ogre.
Also known as Cockney.
It's a genuine ogre accent.
Yeah.
What, mate?
Middle
What,
class
mate?
ogres, slightly better off.
Yeah.
Do they seem threatening, by the way? And
Nope.
obviously their demeanor.
They've got a ballista and a fist
they're-
that's the size of
They
me.
look threatening, but do they?
I'm just
And
going to
they
stand
like-
back and I think
They
look
look
really
threatening, but they've not made any kind of aggressive movement other than sort of
No.
slightly stepping away from the gate and just kind of putting a hand up to halt the cart and just kind of ask you what your business is.
I knew
So,
it'd take-
Natasha, you're claiming this is on royal
I was doing.
request. Would you like to elaborate, please? Dare I ask?
No, just on common request for the town of Stoutwood. See, they want some of that stone, that spirit marble, innit?
Fucking hell!
So,
God.
You're not going to be able to drink that beer for nothing.
Nashak looks at you, looks at the cart, turns around. Bash, check the list. And Bashak just kind of holds the ballista under one arm, reaches around to the back of his jacket and pulls out a clipboard,
Oh, I thought it was going to be a crossbow.
and just looks down and goes,
Another one.
Dynamite.
I was ready.
just looks at it and says, "Nah, nothing from Stoutwood's Rest. You got an appointment?"
No, it was a last minute order.
It's an emergency.
Right.
Oh god.
Got no appointment, Bash. Well, you ain't got an appointment. General Lion White's not expecting any clients today, and he don't take meetings this late. So, I'm going to ask you to turn around
Do
and
you
be on
reckon
your
you
way.
could make an exception though?
Make me a persuasion
Come on,
check.
it's a town emergency.
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh, been waiting for this.
Come on,
Can
Mr.
I
Fly.
ask Nashak where he got his fine hand from? I'm very impressed.
Well, this.
Okay, 28.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a
Jeez,
second, you
nice.
impossible bastard.
Uh,
Bashak kind of looks at it and goes, well, this? Oh, it's standard issue with the healthcare.
Oh.
What kind of healthcare are you on? Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Oh.
matter. Don't matter.
Bagerac becomes aroused.
When we signed up with Lion White, he made sure we were fit for duty as security. I'd lost a hand fighting a...
Did you say LimeWire?
No, Lion White.
Oh, LimeWire. My mistake. Yeah, 28.
Well, look,
Rolls.
seeing as you're clearly prepared, I'll have a word. Hold on. And he
Wouldn't be here if it weren't an
walks back.
emergency, mate.
Walks back to the guardhouse, and you see him pick up a like an oversized speaking horn. He kind of taps it a couple of times. Excuse me, boss. Yeah,
Fucking
it's,
Nooklins!
yeah, it's Bash down at the front gate. Yeah, got a cart here from Stoutwood's Rest. So they're after some. Put sand over. What's it you want?
Well, you see, mate, it's a national
No.
emergency. Well, look, we got all the
Sit down,
stern.
Marble
We need the
Court.
stern for
Yeah,
Marble,
speed it up,
marble,
mate. What do you
marble.
want? Time's
Marble.
left you.
The marble.
Spirit Marble.
Spirit mob.
That's the one. I'm glad somebody fucking
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Taps back on the horn and goes,
write this down.
yeah, after some spirit marble.
Got to make a statue, innit?
So it's for a statue.
A town statue, not a personal one.
Town
He
statue.
wants a Stoutwood.
No, they're just shouting random words at us now, boss.
They're not random, they're very specific.
Motherfucker.
Actually doing the other half of this.
He'll be down in a sec.
Are they talking to Pingu?
Could you imagine what a plot twist?
A few moments
Oh,
pass.
Giant pingu.
Newt, motherfuckers!
That's another copyright infringement for today's night.
Yeah.
A few
Oh,
moments
it's
pass,
BBC, it's a
and
Back in the room.
you can see. I'd say Lours and James would probably notice this first. From over the wall, you can see this like golden light, and looking at it, you'd normally mistake it for where the sun is starting to set behind the wall and just catching the light a bit, but this is moving. And as it gets closer and closer, you can see that there is this figure flying towards the top of the wall with these enormous golden wings spread out. And as they land in front of the gate, the wings just kind of drape around them and they stand up, the wings pull back and just fold and vanish behind them. And this figure's carrying a staff about half their own height with this huge diamond on top of it. And as the wings disappear, the diamond, which was previously emitting this sort of golden light, just fades. And it's just there, just the natural luster of this gem.
Wings look insubstantial, like see-through-y.
Make me a perception. No, it's called as a nature check because you're trying to determine their sort of biological property.
Is it man for man?
15. As they landed, you could see that they were not physical wings. They appeared to be almost made of light.
Right. Okay.
So as the wings disappear and the glow from the jewel disappears, standing in front of you is a fairly pale male half-elf. He's got this long golden feathered hair, and they're wearing a military uniform that has got a very open chest to it. Like, it is down to lower than you know would be acceptable for military garb.
Like beyond the navel.
And they've not quite, but it's a couple buttons close.
Fucking tease. Carry on.
And they stand there and look at you and go, "What exactly do you want?"
Look, see, we need this spirit marble for this statue we destroyed for Stoutwood.
Stoutwood?
Stoutwood.
Stoutwood's Rest?
Yes.
Stoutwood's Rest, yes.
Look, my family were kind enough to supply the stone for their abominable statue 2 centuries ago. And I think you'll find that was generous enough to maintain it until now. Spirit marble doesn't come cheap, you know.
Yeah, well, neither does life.
Boom.
What do you need?
We can take that away from you also.
Well, it's not really a matter of what I need. I think, to be perfectly honest, I was enjoying a rather lovely evening with some scintillating company, and you've rudely pulled me away from that to come and deal with whatever this is. He turns back to the ogres. Bash, Nash, deal with them, please. The wings reappear, and they fly off, and the ogres step forward and like, right, boss says you gotta go.
Look, mate, we're not leaving without it.
I think you'll find you'll just be leaving. And at this point,
You're fine.
Nashak starts to load the ballista.
Okay, guys, I think we need to.
Who's got a crossbow? Loose
Sorry,
one off.
Bashak starts to load the ballista.
I've got a
Guys, I think
javelin.
we need to get here. We can sort this later.
Wait.
I
Can
wonder
I
if there's
cast-
another way in.
Can I cast Phantasmal Force on Bashak, the one with the ballista?
Please describe Phantasmal Force to me.
You craft an illusion that takes root in the mind of a creature that you can see within range. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, you create a phantasmal object, creature, or other visible phenomenon of your choice that is no larger than a 10-foot cube and that is perceivable only to the target for the duration. This spell has no effect on undead or constructs. The phantasm includes sound, temperature, and other stimuli, also evident only to the creature. The target can use its action to examine the phantasm with an intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC. If the check succeeds, the target realizes that the phantasm is an illusion, and the spell ends.
Okay, so
I'm guessing
target has to make an intelligence saving throw, you say?
An intelligence saving throw, I say.
Very well, 2 seconds. Yeah, you can certainly go ahead and cast it. If you want to describe describe your phantasmal illusion, please.
I am going to place another being similar build to Bagerac, but with the same golden wings that was just seen on the half-elf.
Okay.
And he's going to look mighty intimidating and scary.
And just remind me, who were you casting this at?
The one with the ballista that was loading it at us.
So, Bashak.
Bashak.
Okay.
All I can think of is when you're saying the golden wings and the thing, it's just literally like, let's get another copyright in there. Azir from League.
So, yeah, Bashak completely failed their intelligence saving throw.
It's like ogres aren't smart.
So yeah, so it's another creature with golden wings, and what's it doing?
It's like booming commands at him to let us through. It's like Gandalf where he's like, Bilbo Baggins!
My God, how many?
Whereas this is
Look, we dodged the
You
copyright.
must
We've dodged the
let them
copyright strike from
enter.
last week, but let's not try and get another one this week.
So this big golden winged figure is booming to Bashak like, Bashak, you must let them enter through the gates, or all shall perish.
Well, the things from
Which
Neverending
point-
Story.
He looks at this figure and go, "Oh yeah, better let him through." And he goes to start opening the gates. At which point, Nashak turns around and goes, "You what? He's using magic." And at
No,
this
just
point,
allow it.
he grabs the ball on the end of his fist, turns it, whips his arm out to the side, and the entire thing stretches out on a long metal chain.
Oh, I thought he was gonna like cave Bashak's face in there or something.
And I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Yeah.
At which point, Bagerac goes weak at the knees and drools.
Oh my god. Oh,
Touch me with it.
Cannot touch it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, where are my initiative commands? There they are. I'm picking them up, I'm adding them in. Right, so let's go through the list then, please. Bagerac.
16.
16, thank you. Faye.
13.
13, thank you very much. James.
22.
Excellent. Lours.
16.
Excellent. Where are we? Natasha.
22.
Beautiful. Relaxio.
Don't be too impressed, everyone, but I scored a lovely 5.
Ooh, tasty.
Just
Finally, Shathas.
I got a 3.
Well, I feel better now.
That's
You're welcome.
that's
I'm
what
sure
Shathas
she'll
did it
do well.
for.
Thanks, Jen. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I got you, boo.
I got you, boo.
Okay. That. There we are. Beautiful. So, first up is Nashak's flailing chain as he swings it through the air in the direction of the cart. It's going to be a dice that rolls off the table.
Love it.
Does that mean it missed completely?
Disqualified.
They're aiming directly for the cart.
No.
I need everyone who is on the cart to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
I'm glad I walked.
Fuck, why do you have to pick that one?
So this is going to be Bagerac, Lours, Shathas, Natasha. Faye, we on the cart?
No.
Okay.
Got a fucking 15.
I'm going with Lours has got a really good score by that face.
15.
Cool. Bagerac, what did you get?
16.
Lours?
7.
7. Okay. So
This
all
is
of you
going
managed
really
to reflexively jump out of the way of this incoming, basically siege weapon, with the exception of Lours.
Oh, damn.
Yay.
What did you get?
So I got 11. But can I cast Deflect with the Mecha Bear?
Not for this, because this is a surprise attack.
Okay.
My alertness, how far does that?
Mecha Bear can't be
Fine.
surprised.
Mecha Bear's not being surprised, Lours is.
Can my alertness
I
be so alert that
can't.
I'll let Lours know before it happens?
I appreciate the effort.
Just let him get rogered for once.
Let him be a dozy git for a change.
Lours, you take
Shoot that
13 points of bludgeoning damage as this metal ball just comes swinging down
Nice.
straight onto you.
Take that.
Okay.
I can't help but laugh. I'm not gonna lie.
It's brutal.
Fuck.
I somehow feel like it's all my fault.
No, not as possible.
No.
Cool. That's the end of his go. James, you're up. Natasha, you're on deck.
So he's first in initiative.
I saw his wings, so I could guess that he's either an Nephilim or an Aesima. Is that an action?
No,
that
that
would be
was-
an action to stop and think about what you've just seen rather than dealing with the immediate threat.
Yeah, we're dealing with Nashak the ogre.
The ballista's gone off. Does that look like it's only got
The
one?
ballista has not
bolt?
fired. They've just kind of wandered over to try and open the gate.
So we're just dealing with
Okay.
Nashak.
At the moment, Nashak is the immediate threat.
I'm trying to think which one to go for.
Well, Bashak's gone out the way to the gate, Anthony.
Perfect, yes, has currently
Gonna
wandered
get
off.
a ballista ready.
He also is like
He's-
carrying around a siege weapon that he can shoot from a distance at us.
He's still charmed at the moment by Natasha, though.
Okay.
He is still under the effects of Phantasmal for Zungvazum.
Phantasmal
Okay.
Force.
Thank you.
I'm going to
Welcome.
go after Nashak then, and skewer him if I can.
You were him.
Cool.
Kebab.
Ah, balls.
Big.
Finish him.
What was that?
11.
11 hits.
Oh wow!
Because he
okay.
is
Yes.
big
Yo,
and
these-
slow.
Yo, these ogres are butters. Let's get them.
He okay. He takes 10 damage.
Excellent.
And will attack again with my offhand rather than mark and do 14 to hit.
That hits.
And I will also roll. Oh, hang on a second. I always get this wrong.
Colossus, something or other.
Yeah. So slow. I think it's one. Yeah, it is. It's 1d8. So
Yep.
roll 1d8 extra because it's beneath its maximum, and I rolled 6. So they've taken 10 and then 14 damage. So 24 in total off the 2 attacks.
Thank you very much. So as you bring the first rapier down, you manage to catch him whilst his arm is still extended with the ball on the chain. And you manage to get a decent shot in, first of all onto his upper arm, and second of all just across the back of his shoulder with the second rapier. Okay. So, next up, we've got Natasha. Bagerac, you're on deck. Natasha, what are you doing?
Right, okay. So, it does say with Phantasmal Force. So, is Bashak an object, like a target here, or is it just Nashak right now? Are we dealing with one ogre or both?
So at the moment, Nashak is the one... Sorry, I may have misspoke. Nashak was the one you attacked, correct, James?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One who wasn't
So-
charmed.
Yeah,
I was
so
hoping to go
Nashak
for.
Nashak is currently damaged.
Mhm.
Bashak is still sort of wandering off towards the gate under the instructions of your Phantasmal Force.
Okay. Okay, cool. That's fine. And did you say that the gauntlet is indeed fixed? It's
It
a
is very
replacement for a hand?
obviously part of their arm, yes.
So it's part of their arm, you say?
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
he does.
I wonder where this is going.
Oh wait. No, I can't do that. Rubbish. Full Phantasmal Force is a concentration-based spell.
It is.
I am going to slink to the back.
Cool.
If I cast Healing Word as a bonus action, though, does that mean I have to do a Constitution check for concentration?
So, Phantasmal Force is it's a concentration spell, isn't it?
Yes.
If you were to cast another concentration spell, it would immediately end the effect of the first concentration spell.
Alright, but I only want to cast Healing Word as a bonus action.
Yep, that's fine. You'd need to make a Constitution saving throw Constitution check to make sure you can maintain concentration on Phantasmal Force.
But he's almost at the gate. I'll just link to the back for now and end my turn.
No worries. Okay. So, next up, we've got... Let's check my listing here. Next up, we have got Bagerac.
Killer.
Lours, you're on deck. Bagerac, what are you doing?
Well, annoyed that he's just swung his giant shiny mace that it want at me.
Yep.
I'm going to grab my great axe, go into a flying rage, and charge him.
Okay, excellent. So you are now raging.
Oh, love it. So simple.
Go for it. Roll to hit, please.
Yes, let me just tick off a rage thing.
So I can't believe these things can speak common, to be honest. I always assumed that they were a bit dense.
Something special about these ones.
That is just ogre profiling, to be perfectly honest.
It is.
Racist.
Yeah, you
It
racist
is
mum.
racist.
And I will be attacking recklessly because he's damaged my cart, which I'm not impressed about.
Cool. That's fine.
Not the oxen.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's 24 to hit,
24 hits.
Jeez.
and it's
It'd be nice being Badger.
9 damage.
Life so easy.
Just
How much damage,
walking
sorry?
through, smashing
9.
everything.
9 damage. Cool.
9.
What are you attacking with, sorry? Which weapon is that?
Great axe.
Excellent. So, yeah. So as you bring the great axe down, it just
Hello.
manages to successfully
Hello.
find a home on Nashak's other shoulder.
Kitty Cam.
And they are looking pretty beaten up at this stage. They
And I'll whisper in
are...
his ear, I'm going to take your hand.
He is
Jeez.
potentially concerned by that.
Only
So-
potentially. That's
only potentially,
that's
yeah.
pretty calm.
So, Lours, you're up. Faye, you're on deck.
Okay.
I will I think I'm just gonna go straight direwolf and attack the one that attacked me.
Can
Cool.
you turn into, out of interest, is it just direwolf or are there like loads?
There's a bear.
Anything that's CR1 or below.
Oh.
Okay, let's just add your bear on there.
Can you
so
turn
I've
into
got
like a scorpion yet? Or was that?
Sorry, what did you say you were going?
No.
Bear or wolf?
Wolf.
Wolf. It's the standard.
Push him down, son.
Exactly.
Okay, so you now have
Oh, you
adopted
go
your
down.
direwolf form, and you're going to attack Nashak. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, roll to hit, please.
That was the one that lobbed whatever it was at me.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That is a 22.
22 hits. Is that a critical 22?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately. Oh, what's that? 10 damage, 10 piercing, and I've no doubt he can make it, but he needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw.
Okay, cool. Let's have a look. DC 13. It's a strength save. Yeah, they passed that quite happily. So as you
Not surprised
as you sink your teeth into them, you draw blood and make a pretty decent wound on them, but you can feel that like it's like biting into a building. This thing is still sturdy. Okay.
It's like biting
I'm
into
done.
a building.
It's like
It's
eating
built
a
like
wall.
a brick shit, yes.
Cool. So, next up is Faye.
Yes.
And, sorry, yep, Faye and Relaxio, you're on deck.
Yes, I am.
No, it's
That's
looking a
fun.
bit. It's looking a bit crowded around.
You're dealing with a rogue kitten again.
No, I pulled my headphone wire out.
Okay.
Um,
It happens.
yeah, often. So it's looking a bit crowded around Najak, but I'm kind of just gonna sort of come in between Big Bird and Lours and just sort of like reach over their shoulders with my sickles and attack.
Yep, that's fine.
Double sickle combo classic.
Yep, cool. Go for it. Roll to hit, please.
18 to hit.
18 hits. Roll some damage.
That would be 7, and then I need to do one more d4. Which is that one? Roll. So 10 in total for that one.
Excellent. So the first sickle comes through and gets a big gash across Nashak's back, at which point he roars and just falls to one knee. And he is losing so much blood at this point. The ground is absolutely slick with it. You guys have really carved him up a treat.
My favourite.
Fucking better.
He is, however, still breathing.
My second sickle
Trying to rumble
is
me.
16 to hit.
That also hits. Roll some damage, please.
Oh, let's fucking go. End it.
6.
6. It's exactly lethal. As the second strike comes in and just severs the back of Nashak's spine. He just slumps completely down onto the floor. Okay.
Question my magic again, you little bitch.
So,
Ugh.
Bashak's up.
Still
And as he's approaching the gate, he sort of stops and just shakes his head and looks around and goes, Nash! Help!
Wait.
Pulls
Did
out.
he do another
Yes, he
intelligence
did.
saving throw of 15?
He got a nat 20.
Oh,
He snapped the
yeah.
fuck out of that. Pulls a horn from his belt and just blasts a tone on this little trumpet thing. And as he does, you can see all along the top of the wall, starting from the guardhouse and working their way out, these like red lights start illuminating all the way along, and you can hear this sort of building siren sound kicking in.
I just want to look at Natasha and say, if we die, I blame you entirely for this.
Relaxio.
Yep.
You're up.
That I am.
Shathas, you're on deck.
That I am. I'm going to do the obvious thing and just straight out attack Bashak.
Cool. Roll to hit with what are you hitting with?
I'm going to obviously go with a my hex tech. Whoa, start again. I'm going to go with
Hex dick weapon.
Which whiskey helmet?
That whiskey's hit me hard tonight.
It hit me hard, boys. It hit me real hard. Good.
It's hit me that hard, I rolled a 9.
Oh,
Unfortunately, that misses. In your struggle to get past the enormous corpse of Nashak, you didn't quite manage to rally yourself in time to account for Bashak kind of panic flinching out the way.
It's not to worry though, because you know my left hand swings around as my packed weapon shoots out, and I attack with a
5.
something like that. Oh, I didn't
It's
actually
I.
attack. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
So
24, not 20.
Oh, it's critical!
The anger. Rrr.
Cool. So if you can give me that critical damage, please.
7.
No,
With
it does it wrong. It rolls 2d4 rather than doubling the 1d4.
Yeah, so the way we
Oh,
agreed
then
that criticals work, roll the dice, double the dice
Okay.
value, and then add your modifier. If Avery's done it
Roll.
for you, just pick the highest value and double it.
So
You
8,
sure?
yeah.
Okay, it's 10 then.
10. Thank you.
this is for my brother who has nothing to do with this current storyline.
So the
It
second,
was been slightly forgotten about.
so whilst,
Anyway.
so whilst the sickle misses, the packed weapon finds and gets its target and jabs him nicely in between a couple of ribs. Gets a decent deep strike in there. Cool. Shathas and Sir Theodore Bear Esquire, you're up.
Hit it at the ballista.
Say again, sorry, the line cut out just a little bit there.
I'm gonna spit some acid at the ballista, his weapon, or the hand he's using to hold it.
You're spitting acid.
Yep,
That's fucking.
that's fine.
grim.
How are we doing this? Spitting hot fire.
Oh, shit, I'm gonna gob at him.
Super hot fire. These lyrics, I spit that.
It's my cantrip acid splash.
Cool.
So you hurl a bubble of acid, choose one or two creatures you can see within range. If you choose two, they must be within 5 feet of each other. Target must succeed a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 of acid damage. So
Okay,
I
so
want
it's
the hand and the ballista.
Okay,
Acid.
so where it says choose one or two creatures, that means whole creatures. So if you had two enemies
okay.
nearby, you could pick two of them. It's not 2 points on
Fine.
a creature. So I
Fine.
assume just aiming it at
It's
the ogre.
Yeah.
That's fine. So dex saving throw for Bashak. Sorry, what's that? Got a beat?
12.
Got to be at 12. I'm just checking his modifier now because I doubt it. No,
Minus 500.
that is a failure. So they have to take some acid damage, I believe.
Oh, dear.
Oh yeah.
1.
Nat 1, yeah.
Oof.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So managed to gob acid on it, and it hits home, but it just manages to melt off their name badge. But still manages to scorch just a little bit of ogre nip underneath.
Good nip.
Yep, that is a long-range acidic nip twist.
My favourite kind of nip.
Well, you explain to me how else 1 damage of acid represents. A
Oh,
long-range
right.
ogre acid nip twist seems the most appropriate.
I don't know. One of them
Obviously.
danger burps you get where you're not sure. If you
Anyway,
Mini fix.
anyway, Shathas, what are you
I'm
bearing?
gonna attack with her. I'm gonna attack with
What
her.
is wrong with you?
Excellent. So if you can roll me an attack to hit with Sir Theodore Bear Esquire, please.
Oh, for Christ's sake, 3.
Unfortunately, that does miss. The bear's started charging in. It's seen the acid shot go overhead. It's a little bit concerned that its fancy new monocle, mustache, and bow tie might get a little bit of backsplash, so it just kind of holds off just to make sure there's no splashback before going in. He's very proud of his new aesthetics. Okay, so next up we have got James. What are we doing?
I will close the distance and attack Bashak.
Cool. If you can roll an
Okay.
attack to hit, please.
Okay, 15 to hit.
15 definitely hits. Roll me some damage, please.
7 piercing, and I've got my Colossal Slayer
Yep.
again, so I'll roll 1d8.
Roll the date and just give me the total damage overall, please.
17 damage for the first attack.
Excellent. So the first
For the
attack finds
second.
true. Fortunately, the opening created just on the nipple allows you to fully slice it off as well as carry through some extra damage onto the chest there.
Right. I get a bit carried away and obviously pleased with myself, miss my second attack.
Biffed it.
Biffed it entirely.
I fucking
Excellent.
wish.
So the second attack goes wide. As you
Yeah,
were slightly
like right under
horrified
his
that your
armpit.
the first rapier has come through, and you're just a little bit horrified that it's actually taken the nipple out with it. So you distract yourself just trying to flick it off the end of the metal and the blade.
Right, okay.
Going for
okay.
precision rather than efficiency.
As you do
Well,
this, you
rapiers are all
notice
about that.
the siren sound is getting louder and louder.
Oh dear.
And I'm going to need all of you who are currently in melee combat with Bashak to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah.
So that's going to be Faye,
That ain't me.
Bagerac, I believe. No, Bagerac's not
Isn't
in
that
there
the Big
yet.
Bird, Relaxio,
No.
and
No, it's-
Oh,
with there's only the ones that ran up so far. The rest of us are still stood by the corpse
So
we're
we've got
still,
James and Relaxio.
and the bear.
Big Bird.
Yeah,
Right.
James and
I'm-
Relaxio.
Oh yeah, I haven't run out.
and Big
I'm a-
Bird.
I scored an amazing 6.
Okay.
What about the bear Esquire? Does he have to do? Or is he just?
What saving throw was it?
Dexterity save.
Is it exclamation mark save?
Save.
dexterity?
Yes.
Dexterity,
Yeah,
yes.
using the Avery commands exclamation save.
What die is it to save?
20.
Oh, the nut one.
Oh, yes, 'cause,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not good, is it?
That's not good.
It's
I
not
feel
good.
I feel a bit better now.
So what did you get, sorry?
You got a 7.
Okay.
I rolled 1,
And that wand it.
Fantastic.
so I think I.
You got 22 to save.
Okay,
Nice.
Bear is dexterous as fuck.
so, yeah.
Oh am I?
So, Sir Theodore Bear Esquire has immediately stopped in their tracks and turned towards the nearby tree line. As they've done, 2 metal canisters have come launching out and clipped both James and Relaxio on the back of the head.
Okay.
As they land, they
Oh,
start
dear.
spewing smoke out.
Ouch.
Shathas, you have noticed Mecha turn and look towards the tree line, and as you do, you see a figure in a dark green cloak run up to you, place their hand on your shoulder, and say, "They've alerted the guards. More of them are coming, more than you can handle. Come with me, quickly."
Does he say, "Come with me if you want to live"?
And if not, could he?
Yeah. And if not, can he say it now?
No, because copyright strikes. Okay.
Okay.
So,
I make that at least 6
In
copyright
that,
strikes.
if that's the case, then we're all going to follow this guy. Can I cast prestidigitation?
it
Sorry,
is
what?
now
Sorry?
your turn.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
What's it do?
It is now your turn, Natasha.
Yeah.
Bagerac, you're on deck. So, Natasha, what would you like to do?
I will cast prestidigitation.
Yep. To what effect, please?
Ooh. I will create an instantaneous. No. Yep.
Yep.
An instantaneous shower of sparks with a puff of smoke.
Majestic.
Excellent. Where are you creating this?
In front of us. In front of Bashak.
Okay, so there is a crazy amount of sparks going on. So in addition to these 2 smoke canisters going off, there's now a load of sparks
Yes.
happening. James and Relaxio, you've kind of stepped back a little bit, just coughing away some of the smoke. So this has now appeared as like a wall between yourselves and Bashak, who is now completely obscured by smoke and sparks.
Okay.
Bagerac, you're up next. Lours, you're on deck. Bagerac, what are we doing?
I would like to attempt to cut the mace hand off of the corpse.
Yeah, cool. That's fine. Hacking apart a corpse. I don't believe there's a specific rule for that, so we'll just say roll for advantage on a prone target, please.
Jesus. I watch in horror.
I think I've still got the hand from Rosewood.
Oh God, you have.
That's a 26.
Yeah, you take the hand
Nat
off.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you hit it, you take the hand off.
Yeah, can like the mace hand, so can I take the mace hand thing?
You can certainly pick that up. Yes.
I'm gonna wear
Cool.
it like a fancy chain.
Just drape it around your neck.
Yeah.
I remember that I did. I invoked Crimson Right damage on my last go, but actually right.
Yep.
So I've just taken 3 points of damage off myself.
That's fine. No worries.
Oh, what a true sports person.
It was lightning damage. I don't know if that would have done anything in particular to these
I
guys.
like the fact that I just wasted a nat 20 on cutting something's hand off, where I would have done 20.
I mean, yeah, there's arguments to be
I
made
would have done.
for that.
I would have done 28 damage, but oh well.
Okay.
Oh, Badge, we could have done with that.
Hey, you already got disadvantage attacking the thing in smoke and sparks.
Okay, so
Yeah, my bad.
Bagerac, end of your turn. Lours, you're up. At this point, this figure in the green cloak is quite desperately trying to say, "Look, seriously, come on! They're going to overrun you."
Can I use my turn to see if I believe him? Like insight check.
Yep, certainly. Make an insight check.
Oh god, that's crap. 10.
10. Even in wolf form, you can see that they are being incredibly earnest, and there is a genuine panic in their eyes.
I will head over to him. How close is he to me? Sorry.
So they are about they're at the back of the cart. You're at the front of the cart.
Okay. I will head towards him unless the big dude's going to get some kind of attack on me. Is he close enough to get an attack?
Nowhere. You're nowhere near enough.
Okay. I don't know if he's got like a.
Yeah. More to the point, they've got like a big old smoke screen in front of them that they're dealing with.
Oh, sweet.
And the spark shower.
Yeah,
Was I near enough to the green cloak guy, anyways?
You would, yeah. I'd say anyone who is around the cart would have seen and heard this figure. They're not making any effort to be sneaky. They just picked Shathas because she was the closest.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's fine.
Cool.
'Cause, yeah, I'm willing to go.
So,
That's all I wanted to do, to be honest.
no worries. Faye, you're up. And Relaxio is on deck.
This green cloak guy. Okay, so quite a few people have gone over to him then. Like,
Yeah.
was he saying that to the group, or was he saying? It's
Yeah, it just to all of you.
general? We need to get our stone.
Difficult to do that if we're dead.
There might be another way.
I'm going to do a double sickle combo on Bagerac.
Okay,
It's like a crossbow longbow combo.
that's fine. That's going to be with disadvantage because they are completely obscured by the smoke screen.
Oh shit! I forgot that was a thing. Okay, yeah, fine, whatever. Cool.
Cool. So you go in, swing. You go charging into this wall of smoke and sparks, just swinging wildly.
What we need is more people who double down on this shit.
So 16.
16 somehow manages to hit through the smoke.
We've got 9 slashing damage.
Cool.
And 4 lightning damage.
Cool.
And then
So you
my
don't exactly see what's happening, but as you bring the sickle down, it connects with something, and the lightning damage just pops off, and you can just hear this ogre scream somewhere in
And
the
then my
smoke.
Is it a girly scream?
12.
Second attack hit with a what? Sorry,
12.
12 also hits.
And that was 7 damage. You're welcome.
The second attack comes through again. You hear this ogre scream. You can't see what's happened, but as the sickle comes back out through the smoke towards your vision, you can see it is just slick with blood. Okay. Next up, then we've got Bagerac, who's just had repeated strikes into his flesh, and he is dealing with some issues.
It's a good way of saying he's nearly dead.
You hear, Faye, you hear the horn blow again, but you can tell that it's getting quieter, as if it's moving away from you.
Okay.
And then you just hear this pounding on the gate, and Bagerac screaming, "Let me in! Let me in!" Next up is Relaxio. Shathas,
It
you're
is
on
me.
deck.
It is me.
So you've just managed to step back from this wall of smoke and sparks. You've seen Faye just dive into it, and from where you're seeing, you can see like she's just swung wildly, and both of her blades have come out covered in blood. And you've heard
Yeah,
the
well,
screaming and the ogre shouting and all that.
However much that excites me, I think I'm gonna head over to the other group.
Jesus.
So I'm gonna move over to them first.
What, to green cloak guy?
To Green Cloak Man, or woman, person.
Don't assume my gender.
Once I get to Green Cloak person, I'm gonna turn around and lob a javelin.
Okay. So this is going to be a blind shot into the smoke with
Way.
Going to
Please,
die.
with disadvantage, please.
Okay.
Faye gonna die.
And
Please
I
have not
rolled
been
a
Nobody's dying. Nobody's dying.
disadvantage. I rolled a 13.
Oh, that hits. Wow. Hit something.
Miraculously, you're able to roughly gauge the retreating direction of Bashak, and it hits. You hear the ogre scream again.
And he takes 5 damage.
It's a loud scream. But you
Good.
can just hear this very weak sound of the trumpet being blown again.
Oh god.
Shathas, you're up.
Can I send the Mecha Barbarian to go and grab Faye and bring her over?
You sir.
Oh, I really
Yes.
thought you were gonna
So,
attack.
oh, hang on. Does your mecha bear have the option to grapple?
Oh god.
Just have a quick look on the extras tab of your character sheet. It states what bonus actions you can command it to do. Does it have grapple? You know what? Screw it. It has grapple. Make me an attack roll, please, for the mecha bear. Let me just remind myself how grapple works, because no one remembers how grapple works. So you need to make a... Oh, it's a grapple check, sorry. So you make a strength athletics check for the mecha bear.
I got 9.
9.
9. So is that a 9 with the mecha bear's strength modifier?
Actually, that's just for the plus 6. So I need to add the plus 2 as well.
Yeah, so you roll a d20, and then for the mecha bear, your mecha bear's got a strength modifier of +2, so it's 1d20 plus 2.
It's got skills athletics.
Okay, so it's 1d20 plus 6.
So 9.
9. Okay. Faye, if you can make me either a strength athletics or dex acrobatics check, please. At
Just
your
a check,
discretion.
not a saving throw.
You're either directly contesting
You're
the
n-
strength of the mecha bear, or you're trying to dodge it.
You're now going to
So-
successfully dodge this.
Sorry, it was athletics or what? Sorry,
Strength athletics or dex acrobatics. It needs to beat a 9.
Faye's going to get like a nat 20 now to succeed on being saved.
I got 14.
God.
14. Was that acrobatics or
successfully
athletics?
avoid
That was
Faye.
athletics.
Athletics. So the mecha bear goes to grapple you, and they grab you sort of by the back of your armor as you're trying to move forward, and you sort of stumble in your steps, but like pull free of the mecha bear and just turn around like, the fuck is up with you?
Doing like that cartoon arm flailing thing as they get dragged back.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
in that case, I'm just gonna green dude.
I kind of see it like Scrappy Dude. Let me at him!
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, shut up a second.
don't
What was
want
that, sorry, Shay?
I'm just gonna go with a green dude and like call the mecha bear back to me, just like oh,
Cool.
dead.
So yeah, Faye, she's
I
made a
thought you were going
choice.
Jack. Didn't realise you were coming for me.
She's made a choice. She's pulling it back.
Yep.
Yeah, because trying to pull the really big, heavy half-orcs makes the most sense, not the like little changeling.
I'm not little, thank
Okay.
you.
Alright, my rolls are not with me today.
As the smoke clears, you can see that Bashak has sort of slumped up against the door with the javelin directly in their spine. They're no longer moving. At this point, the figure in the cloak is like, happy now? Come the fuck on. And just starts moving away into the tree line.
I don't trust this person.
As they do, you can see figures moving along the tops of the wall. Like, the entire top of the wall is now swarming
Okay, I trust them.
with
Let's go.
people loading and leveling crossbows across the top of it.
I mean,
Do we Sorry, are we still in initiative?
We are still technically... We'll come out of initiative because the immediate threat is dead. But
I'm going to
just
swagger over to the group wearing my new flail chain, like a lovely chain around my neck. Oh, look at this.
Cool.
Ooh.
Can you make me a dexterity? Can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please, Bagerac?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's gonna trip over and hurt himself.
Bagerac
You're
becomes
strangling
Swagerac.
yourself with the chair.
Swagerac.
It's a 10.
Yes.
10.
Yeah.
You take 8 points of piercing damage as 3 crossbow bolts suddenly stick into your back. The rest of you have noticed that there are now bolts flying in your direction. There's an absolute swarm of them.
But technically,
Heading
would I still be
towards you.
raging?
You're still raging, so you just take 4 points of damage, but there are now 3
Yeah.
crossbow bolts sticking out your spine.
Yeah,
As
well.
we're running away, is it possible to sort of, as we're watching them, do they look? Do they have any insignias? Do they look like
You can't
they are
see.
part of
Any
Okay.
detail on them is obscured by this red light that is going around the top of the walls at this point.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna run like hell.
I'm gonna like walk back over briskly with my wide eyes, a bit like Meerkat. You know, if you don't remember that meme from yonder year where it was a little girl in the pink top with the wide eyes. I'll send a photo. Just remind you.
yeah, that's fine. Dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh my god. I'm gonna look like her, and I'm just gonna walk past the group, going, I've just had a really good idea. I think we should go. But it's my idea.
I haven't even noticed the crossbow bolts. I'm just well impressed with my new flail.
Got disadvantage on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be like cool guy walking away from explosions, and as the arrows just land.
18.
No.
18. 2 crossbow bolts just whiz right past either side of your head as you're being chased out.
Dodge like that.
Would I be correct in assuming that you are now retreating?
Yes, but I'm
Oh,
making
yeah.
the group think that it's my idea, and I'm coming of my own accord, and nothing to do with this green cloak guy.
That's cool.
Magical as it.
Just make me a dex saving throw for the mecha bear, please.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Where's it? Oh, no.
20.
Yeah. 3 crossbow bolts go whizzing towards it and just ping, ping, ping off the armour. As it does, a small hatch opens up on the back of the mecha bear, and Gus steps out of the hatch and just flips the bird. Both hands, full finger extension, towards the walls. Before another crossbow bolt almost takes his head off and he hurries back inside the mecha bear. Cool. So, as you manage to retreat from the incoming hail of arrows, Bagerac, you managed to... Surprisingly, the cart itself is not damaged, but the Ox have kind of got spooked by the combat and started to make their way back down the trail. You managed to sort of grab them and kind of negotiate them towards the direction of this.
Up, pretty much.
Yeah.
Come in this way.
Towards the figure in the green cloak. And as you get out of a suitable crossbow distance of the walls, the figure stops and pulls back the green hood, and standing in front of you is a dark-skinned human female with jet black hair bound up into a ponytail. And she's like, I have no idea what the hell any of you were trying to pull there, but if you'd have known any better, you should know that trying to get into that mine by force is suicide.
Well, we didn't start with force. We actually started with very, measured conversation, but we're not going to back down when someone picks a fight on us.
Yeah.
Love.
Maybe this time would have been the smart option. What are you even doing here?
Who are you to say this to us? Who are you?
My name's Adelaide. My brother is in that mine.
That's unfortunate.
And it's also where we're going to take a break.
Mm.
So, we're going to go to a break, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. See you soon.
We'll go.
Cool.
And we're back. So you've managed to get away from the guards on the wall now. You've retrieved the ox, who are slightly shaken up, and the cart, which, although not damaged, as Lours managed to take the majority of the initial attack with his face. And you're now
Face tanking.
being addressed by a female figure referring to herself as Adelaide, who's informed you that her brother is in the mine. I believe Faye was in conversation, so do you want to pick it back up?
Yes. So I was like, wait, we said who are you, Adelaide, blah, blah. I don't know what I was saying. She's asked us what we were doing here, and we're like, well, ask you the same question, but I'm guessing it's to get her brother back.
Yeah.
How did she know that there were people coming?
Well, I didn't know that you were coming. I've been working on trying how to get into this place for weeks now.
But I mean the extra troops. How did you know that they were going to arrive any second?
It happens any time. Any time that red light goes up, all of the guards rush to the walls.
Oh, it was the red light. Okay.
Could
So
we
how
use
do
it as a
we-
distraction? Somebody bring all the guards to the wall and we find another way in.
To the window.
I mean, you could do, but like I say, I've been working on this for weeks now. There's a weakness in the walls that we can get through. Why are you trying to get in?
We just want some stone.
We need us some spirit marble.
Spirit marble. That's like Lion White's main export. Hope we brought plenty of
Yeah.
gold.
No, I
Well,
thought we
he's
could
not
take
really
it.
keen on selling, so I guess we're just keen on taking.
Verbally and reminders keepers.
How much do you lot know about Lion White?
Little.
Where have you even come from?
Some guy gave us some beer and we said we'd come get it.
Not Shorebore.
Stoutwood.
Shoremore's Rest.
Shoremore's Rest.
What's right?
Hey.
Begins with an S.
It's
Same
full of
thing.
hose.
Stoutwood's Rest. The place where hoes can live their life to the fullest.
Shoremore's Rest is the seedy corner of Stoutwood's Rest.
Stoutwood's Rest, the place with the big statue.
Yes,
The
well,
place
no longer.
that used to have the big statue.
Why? What
we may
happened?
have
We should
destroyed, we may have destroyed it.
We may have broke it in order to galvanize ourselves as a team.
Okay, seems like an odd team activity.
Well,
But Lion White's
we're odd.
family supplied the original stone for that. But that was back when his
Just-
parents were in charge.
Yeah, we heard that sob story. Why is
Okay.
your brother locked up in there?
Clearly someone needs to bring you up to speed.
Please do.
So, for the past 100 years or so, Lion White has been hoarding all of the wealth of the mines for himself. I mean, my brother and I lived in Quarryside, and that town is struggling to survive. The amount of poverty that's been imposed because of Lion White's actions. He basically drags anyone who's capable of working into the mine and treats them as slaves. He holds up the entire thing as him giving work to the nearby town, and he pays the families an absolute pittance. But I've seen the conditions in there. They're chained up and forced to work all the way through the day. And now he started paying mercenaries to come in and act as his security and hired muscle. All the while, he's just locked himself up in his pleasure palace at the north side of it.
Did you just say pleasure palace?
Oh, gods, yeah. He's turned the family home into this obnoxious insult to taste and decency. Anyone he finds in the town who he finds particularly attractive suddenly becomes employed as a dancer or a servant or some more unsavoury entertainment for him.
Do
Oh,
we
we've got
all
one of
have to
those.
dress up in a fancy dress?
You just
Maybe
want
do
to-
some squat challenges.
Bagerac dancing to I'm Sexy and I Know It.
Shaith, that's what you're saying?
Does he have a particular race or type that he's attracted to? Maybe like a halfling?
Race, careful with that one.
He is really not fussy. He'll take anyone
maybe
and
a
anything that he
baroness.
finds. He'll take anyone and anything that he finds pretty or beautiful, and stills them in the palace.
Would you think he might like some of the royal flavour?
Oh, changeling.
I don't know what you're getting
Yeah.
at, but if you're implying what I think you're implying, you are welcome to whatever that sick bastard wants to put you through.
Oh God.
All right,
This
it's
is about
time.
to descend
It's time,
real
baby.
quick.
All right.
Get your layer costume out.
I could.
So throw sick hood back out, baby. Buckle up.
I've got I've got the dark elf as well as skin that I could be. She was pretty fit.
She was pretty fit.
So Em's now figuring out what the fittest character she can imitate
Yeah, well, I've got one that's 58.
What
uh,
on
with
scale of what?
acting.
is. That's what I was just thinking. What is this number? On the scale, she's about 58.
I'm guessing that's age.
Of what?
Yeah. I just...
If you can put a number to attractiveness, what kind of shallow being are you, Changeling?
She just ranked all of her forms.
Ranked all of the races within.
At this point, Adelaide's head is in her hands. It's just like, look, if you jokers want to help me, I can get us in.
All right. Well, I think all the women should go.
Yeah, here come the girls.
I'm not sure he'd like a dragon.
Sisters are doing it for themselves.
Adelaide just kind of sighs and just goes, I know
Girl power.
I know I'm going to regret this. Follow me.
Yeah.
And she leads you around the sort of the western edge of the wall surrounding the mine. After a few minutes, you come to there is a crack where a tree root has managed to grow through and start to split apart.
It's always
the
the crack
stone.
when attractiveness is involved.
And
Do I
there's
still have that pink dress or whatever it was I had to wear for that ball?
no,
I can't remember. No.
no, they were issued by the auto tailor, so they would have dispersed within 24 hours.
Oh yeah. When
Yes,
yeah.
once you received your ticket, yeah.
Can
Once you got your deposit back.
Can
Oh no, you can't fake clothing, can
I
you?
do have a disguise kit, however.
Oh no.
I wear good clothes anyways. I
What were
wear
you
fine
saying?
clothes.
Sorry, James, what were you saying?
I have a guess at what the because he flew down with like wings. Can I have
Yeah.
a guess at if I know what the half elf thing is?
Just make me a straight intelligence check.
Oh, careful. Careful with the bird brain over there.
Like a history
knew
check
that
or
was
anything?
Just straight intelligence.
Okay. 18.
Was that sorry?
18.
18. Being that your species are originally from the plane of air, you recognise that these wings are not natural. They're definitely magical.
Yeah.
That's as much as you
Don't
can tell.
recognise him as, say, an Asimar?
As far as species-wise goes, there was nothing about them other than extravagant clothing and hairstyle to indicate they were anything other than half-elf.
Okay.
So, if we were to continue this plan of having the girls go in and wooing Mr. Whiteline,
Do I have to?
I mean, if you like, he could be into Dragonborns. It's fine.
Different strokes for different folks.
Sometimes literally.
Another one.
I mean, look at the Jared calendar.
Oh, you can't look at the Jared calendar ever.
I think you mean the Tome of Jared.
I'm fairly
not
certain that
horrific.
calendar. We can't show that calendar on stream. That breaches terms of service straight away.
Straight away.
I'm gonna Google
But
it.
I have a disguise kit that
Horrific.
I can wrap around Faye so she can look pretty.
It was horrific dragon porn, which I still to this day don't understand. A, how he found, or B, why he put it in a calendar and gave it to me.
We do.
I mean, it's
Oh,
proof that
Jared.
Moonpig will print literally anything. Anyway,
Mhm.
so
I mean,
Adelaide's,
anyway,
Adelaide's
crack
managed
it
to
all.
show you this fissure through the wall, and one by
Adelaide can come with us.
one, you've made your way through. As you get inside, as you're moving through the wall, the sort of the outside evening quiet is immediately replaced by the sound of tools, and as your eyes
What's
adjust,
this
you can
wall like?
see that the entire quarry is illuminated by these sweeping beams of light being projected from some very tall towers. From where you are, you can see the full scale of the operation. Below you, in a huge dugout section of ground, are countless figures of various races, bound in chains, clothed in ragged garments, and they're busy working at the various rock faces, either carving out chunks of stone, breaking them down, or moving them around in carts that are on these tracks winding through the quarry. There are guard patrols wearing the same very expensive looking uniforms as you'd seen on the ogres at the gate. They're moving around barking orders and just brutally disciplining all the workers. Further around towards the northern edge, you can see this incredibly opulent tower. Even from where you are, you can see it's shining with the same sort of luster as the statue in Stoutwood's Rest. And the architecture of it is this very tall, thick pillar of a building, flanked by these two angelic female figures embracing this main shaft. And the entire building has been illuminated with coloured lights in various hues of green and violet and pink and blue. And Adelaide points and goes, "That abomination is the Pleasure Palace."
In case of emergency, please ejaculate the building.
It looks like Natasha's playing with a shake weight.
Two of them, double fists.
I thought she was just directing an aeroplane.
At this point, Adelaide
Yeah.
motions to all of you, "Stay low, follow me." And she starts making her
I
way
always stay low.
close to the wall,
I can
working
do
her way
low.
round towards the palace. Can all of you make me a stealth check, please?
Certainly. Where am I putting this?
Oh, I
Go.
didn't prep.
18.
11.
Oh
Six.
no!
Oh, what did you get, Lours?
Oh, I think we got it.
15.
Lours, what did you do? 1.
Nat one bit.
Natural one.
Oh god.
But we
so
had someone get a
sorry.
nat 20, so that cancels that out.
I got a 6.
No.
Relaxio
Okay.
rolled a nat 20.
Oh,
Cool.
God bless you.
So fortunately, enough of you as a group managed to succeed on that for it to pass. So between you, you managed to
thank
follow Adelaide's lead and make your way around the edge. As you can see, the patrol groups of guards moving around seem to be all made up of the same sort of composition. Sort of 2 humanoid figures and then 1 ogre on there. And again, they're just being dicks to the guys that are working. Just unnecessarily booting them or beating them with sticks, and they are they are the worst. And as you come around towards the northern edge and approach the palace itself, you notice that the entrance is completely unguarded. Adelaide sort of motions for you to stop and turns around and goes, "Look, that arrogant bastard Lion White doesn't bother posting guards on his own quarters aside from a token group of enforcers he keeps inside. Just uses the hired goons to keep the workers in line. Everyone inside is either too well paid or too well doped up to bother trying to escape."
It's not my kind of place.
She motions for you to carry on, and still keeping low to the ground. Literally walks straight up to the main doors and inside. What greets you inside is an absolute assault on your eyes. The interior is decorated with very expensive looking, very well made furniture, silk drapes all over the place. There's some overtly erotic statues going on here, various figures contorted into various positions. And there's artwork on the walls to match some paintings that would certainly make the priests blush.
And Natasha, I didn't know about that position.
Natasha's stealing this art, isn't she?
Inside, at the far end of the main entrance, which is this, the height of the entrance hall is easily sort of 2-3 floors tall. It's this huge vaulted space. And on the back wall is this enormous painting of Lionwhite with his wings spread out in this sort of position of grand triumph, like riding on the back of a bright white steed.
Spread eagle, you'd say.
Yeah, he's an egotistical prick, isn't he? Right. Lionwhite's office and personal quarters are on the top floor. I'm going up there to rescue my brother. Are you guys with me?
I'm gonna cast disguise self on myself and make myself look like one of the mercenaries. And I'll escort you up.
Okay. Cool. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll go.
Sure.
Anyone
Yeah,
else?
fuck it.
I was going to say, anyone else doing anything disguisey wise?
I've already changed into one of my skins.
Okay.
Your skin. Yeah.
How would you rate it?
I'll use
62.
my disguise kit.
32.
I'll use my disguise kit and make myself like henchwomany.
Okay, Natasha, if you can make me a performance check, please. Actually, either performance or deception, your choice.
Ooh. Wait.
Because
would
you're
that be
either
with
looking to
advantage?
you're either looking to disguise yourself and deceive
Yeah.
someone, or you're looking to put on a kind of disguise and portray a performance.
And would that be with advantage with my actor feat?
Yes, if you use performance.
I think I have advantage on deception and performance checks when trying to pass yourself as a different person.
Oh, okay. If that's how the actor feat works, then by all means.
Oh,
What
Plus
race
nine, baby.
was this person again? Sorry, they were half elf, weren't
Half
they?
elf.
Yeah,
No.
Lionwhite is
20
a half elf.
Yeah.
I rolled a
yeah.
22.
Excellent,
Nice.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I'll stick with my dark elf skin then.
Okay, so that's Faye, Shathas, and Natasha covered. What are the rest of you doing?
If it's been less than 2 hours, then I'm still in wolf form and will continue to do so.
Okay, it has.
Then I will stay in wolf form.
Yep.
And just walk with someone as if I'm some kind of
Cool.
pet or guard.
You can walk with me in the
Yep,
Mecha
I will do that.
Okay. Bagerac, what are you up to?
I suppose I should remove the plug of ogre hand from this flail I've got so it stops dripping everywhere.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
find
really- I can't
you find a
describe-
suitably large planter that you can just kick it behind.
I was gonna say, I don't have any disguises or anything, so I
Draw a mustache.
just draw a moustache on the side.
James, what are you doing?
Are there any windows looking in from up high or anything like that?
There's nothing that appears to be looking down from above. There's a couple of like really tall, ornate windows that have got a sort of vaguely phallic shape to them.
So there are penis-shaped windows.
They're dick windows, yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Lionwhite's loud and proud on this one.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Not sure that I'm going to be able to sneak in with the rest of the people on account of all of the feathers.
all kinds.
I was like, I ain't gonna be able to sneak in either. I got no disguises, no nothing. I'm just
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like I can't really sneak in, so I was wondering whether I could like the windows, other than being phallus shaped. Are they like stained glass, or can I see through them? Or
Oh, they're stained. Glass.
Whoa.
yeah,
And stained window.
You just laughing at the
Anyway.
fact that you've put a photo with a half-orc with a moustache on.
Tickle me more than it should.
marvelous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just stealth up there?
So, to give you an idea of the kind of layout that you're looking at the back of the room there is a very tall, curving, like double sweep staircase that follows the sort of the natural curve of the back of this tower. So there's two separate staircases that lead up to the next floor.
Can I just say at this point, the Relaxio's giggling to himself at the stupidity of all the disguises as he slipped on his cloak of concealment, still giggling to himself. Pulls the hood up, thinking you all look stupid.
Relaxio, can you make me a stealth check, please?
I certainly can.
Oh my god, here we
So-
go.
So me, Relaxio, and James could try and stealth up the other set of stairs, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I rolled
Well, I was-
12.
Cool.
I was thinking. Actually,
You
that I
definitely
fly
believe
it.
that this is one of your better disguises.
It certainly is.
I'm going to. You see through the windows is what I'm getting at, I suppose.
We're still on the fucking windows.
Well, I want to see whether I can fly outside. I never really got an answer.
I thought James was busy trying to
None of the windows really open. They're
It's
all
alright, I got my
very
crash.
they're all very tall, quite narrow, shaft-shaped windows.
Okay, I'll try and sneak up the stairs then, like the opposite to Roger.
Okay. So
I'm facing the wall, doing like a side shuffle
that's fine.
with my cloak.
So, as you all make your way up to the first floor following Adelaide's lead, the first room you come into is kind of like a lounge area. There's a bar stocked with numerous delicate crystal decanters filled with different brightly coloured spirits. There are these low couches arranged around the room, and they've all got there's a number of individuals just like sort of either sat on them or reclining or just asleep on them in very little clothing going on there, and they're all wearing these like necklaces, almost like a choker, with a little gold gem at the front of them.
Can
And
I
as you
look at the
walk
gem?
past, yeah, certainly. If you can make me an Arcana check, please.
Can I steal one of the crystal spirit things?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Everyone in the room
I
is
got
completely insensate. 20. Okay. Looking at it, you recognise it as almost like a control crystal. You've seen similar things before with regards to. There's been some case studies that you've come across with particularly strict prisons where they've used them to keep the inmates in line, but you've never really seen them used in any kind of civilian capacity.
Okay. Can I have a look around and see if there's a master crystal anywhere?
Yeah,
Would that be the one that's on his stick?
make me an investigation check, please. Bagerac, you just swipe. Note it down as like
7.
a bottle of wine.
Yeah, a crystal
7.
bottle of wine. Okay.
You don't see any master control crystal knocking around.
I'll put it in other possessions for now.
Cool.
I'm going to relay the information about the control crystal group.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, guys, all the whores are wearing crystals on the necklaces that controls them. They might not be willing.
Are they whores if they're not paid?
Can I go to grab one of the necklaces and rip it off?
Make me a strength check,
Damn,
please.
That went really well last time we tried to do
Oh
something.
God, he's gonna kill someone.
Probably.
Gonna
I
take
Oh,
have
it's a
a
10.
Can I
As
try
you-
and lift one from one of them?
As you try to remove the necklace, it's on a male dwarf. So you move the beard out of the way and grab the necklace, and as you try to rip it off, they scream and immediately go limp. No one else in the room even responds.
Oh.
I have a piece of jewelry I could probably like pretend is one of these.
I'll go say that looked like it hurt. Is he dead? Can I prod him?
Medicine check.
Did the whole body go limp or just?
Just what?
That's a 12.
Yeah, they're dead.
Alright, yeah, so...
Oh, okay.
Well done, Badger.
I rescind my request to try and lift one carefully from them.
If that's dead, can we use his? Just not attach it. Like, attach
Gotta
it.
get it off first.
Yay.
Attach it, but not like attach it, but just attach it.
You can try and remove it from the corpse. Dex, sleight of hand check, please.
17.
17. Okay. You take a few moments to have a look, see if you can identify the release mechanism on it. You can see.
I've got jewelers.
Yeah, that's fine. So that would make it a 19. The mechanism itself you recognise from the study, and it is completely dead sealed.
But
You know
he's
that
dead,
there's
so it's no longer sealed.
even on a corpse, there's no way to remove it without the master key.
If we just hide the body, I've got a piece of jewelry that could kind of pass,
You
I
could-
guess, as a crystal.
Could you change into the dead guy?
Could do that. They probably don't. I was thinking more that they don't probably recognise them. He won't care. He'll just see someone dancing, and I can just pretend I'll just stand there. You guys can go do your thing, and I'll just keep watching.
So, can we look around and see if there's anywhere to stash this dead dwarf?
Yeah, I mean, again, there's not really anywhere to stash them, but you could probably hide them behind a wall hanging or something.
Can we hang
Behind a
up the wall?
curtain.
There are no boxes or big pillows we could put him under, or?
Just put their pillow just over their head. Just leave the rest.
I was thinking those giant big beanbag pillow things. Just put him under one.
Yeah, sure. There's a big old squishy beanbag, and you just chuck it over the body, and it manages to cover them, and it's barely recognisable that there's a dead dwarf underneath there.
Can we just put We'll just put one of the other half-dose people on top, so it looks like they're lying down. It's fine.
If only
yeah.
we had a cloak that concealed everything that was underneath it.
Baderac, just make me a dex sleight of hand check to carefully move one of the bodies on top of the beanbag.
It's a 17.
Yeah, you managed to do it without killing them. Shathas, what were you saying? Sorry.
They're already dead.
Okay, so Adelaide kind of looks at you and is like, "When you're quite finished, you fucking psychopaths, shall we move on?"
Are we the bad guys?
We're
I'd
always the
say
bad
so at
baddies.
this point. And you're always going to regret this. Follow me. As you move on, the next few floors are a very similar setup. Each floor appears to have been set up for a different form of entertainment. There's a dancing area with an obvious stage for musicians. There's a feast area where there's a long table that's at the moment completely empty, but set out with again these reclining sort of lounging chairs on there. And you come to a final set of stairs, and Adelaide sort of motions for you to stop and goes, "Okay, this next floor is Lime White's personal chamber. If any of you are going to try and sneak up there, you should go first."
I'll try sneaking.
I'll try and sneak with him as well.
Okay?
Looks like I'm going with since my pet's going.
Okay. If you can all roll me a stealth check, please.
What, as in the ones who are trying to sneak? Because
Yep.
I should be okay in my costume, right?
26.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just constantly dancing now.
19.
I got an 18.
18.
Okay. At this point, enough of you have passed that all other things aside, you all are successfully managing to make your way up.
Actually, still shuffling up the wall.
Yep, still
Cloak,
shuffling in that cloak.
against the wall.
As you make your way up, you see in front of you is that this entire floor is much more open. You think it's, from what you've seen outside, this occupies probably the sort of the lower level of the more kind of bulbous section at the top of the tower. And as you look into the room, on the left-hand side of the room is this large, like bath, standing up from the floor, and there's three human guards that just sort of perched on the edge, chatting with there's a trio of fairly attractive female tieflings in the bath that just seem to be going along with the general chit chat. On the right of the room, as you look into it, is a table set with a bountiful feast currently being tucked into by two exceptionally large ogre guards. And at the rear of the room, furthest point from you, is this large dais with this enormous throne-like chair shaped like a huge golden hand. And just reclining kind of languidly across the body of the chair is General Lionwhite. He's just gently tapping his calf with the diamond-tipped cane, whilst there's this young, dark-skinned human male refilling a goblet from this silvered pitcher that they're holding. And Adelaide kind of motions to you and just points over at this human servant and goes, That's my brother. He gets out alive. Understood?
I just
look-
nod in wolf
I look
form.
pointedly at Bagerac. This one, live.
I've made a few mistakes.
I draw a little picture to show this one with a tick on top of it, and I show it to Bagerac.
I let Bagerac know that I can imbue an alchemy jug that will give him beer, if this one live.
Or
Oh.
mayonnaise.
All the choices.
Beer if they live, mayonnaise if they die. Either way, you have to drink the whole thing. So what would you like to do? We'll start with... let's go to Faye. You seem more reasonable.
Faye still
Wow.
bouncing.
Well,
Yeah,
Shaythas and
I'm
Lours are
still-
currently trying to indicate to Bagerac not to go in and start ripping heads off.
Well, I'm pretending that I'm just like under that spell. I've got my pretend necklace on, so I'm just constantly dancing.
Just dancing your way across the room.
So you're just kind of dancing your way up and in.
Yep.
Okay.
Why does that remind me of the scene from The Inbetweeners, like when they dance
Yeah,
on the dance floor?
Yeah.
Really badly.
So as
Got
you
reggae on.
make your way in, Lionwhite spots you, kind of motions to Adelaide's brother to stop pouring a drink, and just kind of goes, one of them's got loose, and just kind of indicates to one of the ogres, just take her back downstairs, I'll get round to them later. One of the ogres kind of begrudgingly puts down their food, stands up, picks up what looks like about 5 foot's worth of timbered battering ram, and just puts it onto one shoulder and just wanders over going, come on, downstairs. And just starts to try and just sort of shepherd you back down the stairs.
Which I will. I will silently do as he asks, and what I'm hoping is that will bring him out of the room into where these lot are, and then they can do their thing. We can pick them off one by one.
Yeah. So you managed to
I thought we were in the room.
stumblingly. So at the moment, you guys are kind of hiding out on the staircase, and again, it's this sort of
Okay.
double rise staircase coming up. So it sort of splits into two, winds around the side of the building, and comes up. Both sides come up to the same point on the next level. So whilst you guys have managed to come up one side, Faye has now managed to distract this ogre down the other side where you are not. So, Faye, you've managed to lure this ogre back down the stairs.
Okay, I'm going to take a sickle to his throat.
Cool. I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Hooray!
We're the bad guys. Why?
Yay.
We are the baddies. I was
22.
just.
Yeah,
So it's-
that's-
Look, are you fighting the thing by herself now? I take it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Yar.
So well.
Okay. Sort that out. Grab this. Where's this thing? There we go.
You need to continue dancing throughout the encounter, Faye.
With
Well,
your
I've
sickles.
put reggae on really quietly in the background, so I've got something to just.
Dancing the dance of death.
Something to bop to.
Tango
Okay,
della
so,
muerte.
Bagerac.
I'll go 5.
5. Okay. Faye.
22.
Ooh, good. James.
Hello.
James, still there?
Sorry, mate, I didn't hear you say my name.
Oh,
Yeah,
no worries.
6.
6, thank you.
Wow.
Lours.
14.
14, excellent. Let's just get that. Natasha.
10.
Relaxio. Sounds so sad.
15.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Shathas.
6.
God, take this hoodie off, excuse me.
We all did so well.
Okay. So, Faye, as you've managed to lure the ogre down to the next floor, you do get a surprise round. And you're going to... so you're just going to go straight up and attack them, yeah?
Sickle to the throat.
Okay, roll to hit, please.
Woohoo! 26.
That definitely hits. Is that a critical?
Nope.
You've just got, like, mad stats.
19 plus 7, I believe.
It is.
Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Sick.
definitely hits. Roll some damage, please.
I know my teammates. Okay.
8 slashing and 1 lightning.
So 9 overall. Okay.
Mhm. I'm thinking like executioner style, so you better die straight away, otherwise I'll go in with the other cycle.
You gonna die.
Where are we?
Trying to work out when we became murder hobos.
Probably about episode 1, 5 minutes in.
Cool.
Where you slit the elf's
Well,
throat.
yeah, with the arrow.
So the
I slit
first-
his throat.
That's the skin I'm using right now.
Whilst
Awesome.
dancing in a really creepy fashion.
Whilst fucking them up.
So
How
as
do you step
you've
on that person's house?
as you've lured this ogre downstairs, you immediately whip
I do.
round and the sickle goes out and just slashes them straight across the gut.
Wow.
And they're somewhat surprised by this because they didn't anticipate you had weapons.
Well, yeah.
Keep my sickle in places you wouldn't like to know.
Due to
Why
the
not?
layout of this, the staircase is open, so you guys can see everything that's going on.
Go with my second sickle.
Yeah, go for it.
11.
11 hits.
6 damage.
6. So the second sickle comes in and just follows the line of the first one, takes another decent chunk out of them. Yeah, they are cut and bleeding. Let's just see. Are they surprised enough to do anything about it? Nope, this one was poorly trained and does not respond with anything other than shock. So next up it's gonna be check the list. So now we're into initiative order. Faye, it's actually your turn. Relaxio,
well,
you're on deck.
Q.
double sickle combo.
Cool. Roll to hit, please.
So basically, Faye lured this ogre down the staircase and just carving him to pieces.
Apparently, just
It's kind of like, have
solo
you ever
beast
seen
mode.
Psycho, where
23.
That hits.
the killer like kicks the sheriff down the stairs and just slashes all the way down.
8 slashing, 3 lightning.
So 11 total.
Mhm.
Fucking hell! And you got another attack.
26 to hit with my second attack.
Yeah, that hits. You're just wailing on this guy.
And 6 damage.
Cool. So yeah, the second sickle comes in, the lightning damage goes off and just scores this burning mark across their upper arm and the top part of their chest. The second sickle comes in and it just, this, again, they are carved like ham, but still standing and furious to the last. Relaxio, you're up.
Okay. Well, I'm still, shuffling up the walls.
Yep.
So I'd like to shuffle into the room very slowly, almost that slow. I'm not moving.
So you're
Imperceptibly slowly.
So you're continuing. You're continuing up the stairs into the room with Limewhite.
I would love to do that. Yes, just round
Okay.
the edge of the room against the walls.
That's fine. Your stealth check carries over, so yep, that passes. No one has noticed you.
And then I just want to sneak as close to the other ogre as I can, and I'm just gonna hold there for a minute.
Okay, that's fine. That puts you probably about 20 feet away.
Perfect.
Okay.
Actually, I'll cast Armor of Agathos.
Yeah, if you can make me another stealth check, please, because this is taking an action whilst you're trying to be sneaky.
That sounds good to me. Do love these stealth checks.
Top quality cloak.
10.
10. Let's have a look.
Such a sneaky boy.
Yep. The ogre has not noticed that all of a sudden the cloak
Are you
sneaking around the
fucking
room
kidding?
has suddenly started to get really chilly.
I just thought it was a cold breeze.
Thought it was a breeze. Okay.
Kind of upset by that.
From your position, you can still see the 3 bandits that are chatting up the tieflings in the bath. And
Lovely.
they haven't noticed a damn thing.
This cloak, I tell you.
Lours, you're up next. Natasha, you're on deck.
Oh shit.
I'm still in wolf form, so I guess I'm just gonna attack the closest.
I will
one
say,
to-
actually, so the next few rounds of combat are Lours, Natasha, James, Shathas, and Bagerac. So if you wanted to communicate between each other and act as one group, I would allow it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Cool. So
I can
I'm
only
going to set
communicate with
a
one person.
2-minute timer. Think about what you want to do. Go.
Good.
Faix probably nearly killed that other guy.
Mm-hmm.
We
Do
should
we wanna
bum rush them all.
split If we let Bagerac go and kill him, like Bagerac and Faye will probably kill him between them if the rest
Yeah.
go into the room. Because the rest
Yeah,
of us are
works.
still disguised. Apart from James. Depends on what James wants to do.
Bless you.
Thank
Or
you.
go in, whatever you think.
Try to sneak around and grab the staff.
Yeah, I'm good with this stealth approach.
Okay, so if we leave
I'm gonna
Bagerac,
go along with that. I just sort of nod because I can't talk in this form.
are you okay with that, Bagerac?
I get to kill stuff, I don't care.
Natasha?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, so run me through the plan. What are we doing?
We're
I'm gonna
gonna
go
leave.
help Faye.
Yeah, Bagerac's gonna help Faye, the rest sneak into the room.
Okay, cool. That was less than a minute. Well done. So, Lours, you're up first. You're sneaking into the room, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Stealth check carries over. Whereabouts are you going to position yourself? So you've got the ogre on the right as you come in, who's currently tucking into his dinner. You've got 3 bandits on
Yeah.
the left who are currently chatting up some tieflings, and you've got Lion White at the back who is being inappropriate in a manager-employee relationship to the brother of Adelaide.
Can I walk in with? Can I move in with Shaythas? Is that because otherwise me walking in direwolf form is, that they're going to spot me straight away. Could I like hold movement? Is that a thing? Can I just move with Shaythas?
Yes, yeah, you can hold your movement until Shaythas moves in.
I'll do that then, because otherwise I'm just going to look real weird going in by myself.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not-
that's...
It's not going to look any weirder with a dragonborn and a wolf walking together.
Well,
I'm disguised at the moment.
And
Yeah.
a mecha bear.
I just look like a bandit with 2 pets.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so you can
Okay.
hold your movement until Shaythas moves in.
Yes, please.
Natasha.
I will be joining the other group.
Cool. So
Not the Bagerac, but yeah, I'll be joining the people upstairs.
you're holding your movement until Shaythas moves in.
Yes.
Cool. That's fine. James?
I'll join. Hold my movement.
Yep, it's fine. Okay, so Shaythas and Sir Theodore Bear Esquire.
We're
All
gonna
on
move
you.
to the room.
Okay. And are you doing this stealthily, or are you just announcing your presence?
Probably better if James and Natasha are stealthy, so we'll start with stealth to go with. So we'll just. Is there any pillars we're gonna have behind to start with?
No, this is a completely open space. You're just kind of, if you're going to sneak in, you'd be looking to just kind of make your way around to potentially the side where Relaxio is, to kind of hide your movements behind the ogre and the dinner table.
Okay, we'll start by going over there then.
Cool, that's fine. So your
I
stealth
can
rolls,
do that anyways. I
stealth
am
rolls from
naturally
earlier
stealthy.
carry over, so no one at this point has noticed that you've entered the room. Okay, Bagerac, you're up.
I am just going to charge the ogre with my great axe.
That is fine. Please charge the ogre with your great axe.
I'll attack recklessly as well.
Yeah, are you raging?
Of course
No.
you will.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Are you raging?
No.
No, just reckless attack. Cool.
Yeah. It's 21 to hit,
That definitely hits.
and it's 12 damage.
12 damage. Thank you very much. So the axe comes down, and this guy just goes to the floor. You absolutely tear through him from like top right to bottom left, and they just boomf, hit the floor. Blood and various bits of ogre parts going everywhere, and they are definitely dead.
Problem solved.
There's the stealth gone.
Still a stealth mission.
Hey, he heard nothing. All that happened is Faye attacked them on the stairs, then I ran up and finished him off before he could do anything.
Yeah, as far as they're concerned, we're just we're down in the bar area.
All I'd say is Faye now needs to change her costume, otherwise we'll...
At this
no,
point,
That was what I was going to do.
the ogre
Yeah.
sat at the table eating stops.
Oh, God.
What have you guys done?
And takes a sip of their drink and carries on.
Psych! I love it.
Okay. Lion White is still preoccupied with his new guest, so we are on to Faye. You're up, Relaxio, you're on
Hello.
deck.
Does changing my disguise count as an action?
It would do, yes. Yeah. You'd still be able
Okay.
to move, but you wouldn't be able to do anything else.
Can I converse with Badger?
Yep.
Aarakocra. You had to pick a name that was basically your name.
Yeah. I'm a smart
uh,
barbarian, man.
Does that count as an action? Like
For the
conversing
sake of
and stuff?
expediency, if you can do it within the next 30 seconds, I'll allow it.
Okay, so Bagerac, if I change into another disguise, what's our plan? Are we going to then go back into the room? Are we going to carry on be another dancing person, or
I was just going to wait by the door until someone yells or I hear
shall
a
I go
commotion,
in
then
dancing? Shall I go in dancing again and then bring another person out for us?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And so I'm going to change into another skin, which is a female genasi.
Yep.
Called Ember.
Yep.
Her name is Ember. She likes long walks.
She has red skin,
She likes
brown
a Taylor
hair,
Jerry
Yep.
and Coca-Cola.
incredibly large green eyes from gnome
Yep.
descent, and she has a voice that sounds like crackling fire.
Okay.
She has these great big green eyes.
So you turn into the
turning-
Ganassi form.
Yeah, I'm turning into her, and then I'm walking back in the room. Well,
Okay.
dancing back into the
So
room.
with your movement, that brings you just up to the top of the stairs. You are now just kind of dancing at the top of the stairs.
Cool.
Relaxio,
Throw in shapes.
you're up.
Well, it'd be
With
it'd be
your
out of
fire
character.
starter.
I'm still currently hugging the wall
Yep.
with the cloak. I pull my sickle out,
Yep.
and I'm gonna go straight out and attack the second ogre.
Okay.
Let's do this.
If you can
No,
roll
it's a
me
waste of time
a
outside.
roll to hit,
Oh, yeah, stealth is pointless.
roll to hit with advantage, please, because you're attacking from stealth. As unbelievable as it may
behind, you
be.
dirty bastard. As well.
20. Oh, nat 20.
So that's a critical. If you could roll me some damage, please.
So the critical damage is 7.
So you rolled 7 with a crit.
Yeah, because I rolled 2. I rolled 2 plus 3, so 4 plus 3.
Okay.
Ugh.
So
No, I can't.
okay. So yeah, as you leap out from hiding, the cloak billowing behind you, the armor of Agathis glistening in the light from the room, and you lash out with your circle and just a deep cut across this guy's right shoulder while he's eating. Not best pleased with that.
Can imagine.
Yep.
What's, to add insult to injury, you're going to nick his food, need it.
Now I'm going to bring my other hand round, pop out a good old dagger,
Yep.
try and stick it up his nose.
Cool. Again, roll to hit, but this time without advantage.
Oh, that gets right
Oh.
up my nose.
So just straight hit roll.
16
16 hits. Roll some
plus
damage,
6
please.
damage.
6 damage.
What's the difference between piercing and magical piercing?
Magical
they're-
piercing beats out
Feels
some.
good as it goes in.
Yeah, sure, why not? That'll do. So, yeah,
We'll do it live.
you just
Wow.
as you dive in with your wrist blade, it just whips this guy's nose off.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy your food now, you bastard.
Excellent.
Looks like Voldemort.
Yeah.
So, the
What's it?
3 enforcers that have been chatting up the tieflings, understandably, have noticed this. And they've turned around. 2 of them are readying crossbows at Relaxio. Relaxio, what's your armor class, please?
16.
One of
Cutting
them
words!
manages. One of them manages a nat 20.
Oh.
So I have a disadvantage though, because I'm sort of behind the ogre.
We'd say for the
Yeah.
purposes of this, you've attacked from the side, so you wouldn't gain cover.
And
From...
also a nat
Also, he's
20.
sitting down. He's sat down, so unless you've leapt up onto the table to attack him,
He sat it down.
sat it down. Sat it down. It's a nat 20, but if you want to use cutting words, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I will use cutting words.
Yep.
Whoop. Oh god, I got 6.
Yeah. So
Which means
the
it takes it down to 14.
that misses.
Yes!
two of those go wide. One bandit draws a sword and starts making his way across the room towards Relaxio.
Stop trying to hit us, you wankers!
Okay.
So try to hit
Next
me.
up is Lours, followed by Natasha.
Well, I guess there's no point in stealth now, so I'm just gonna go and attack what Relaxio's being attacked by, or attacking, whichever.
Cool. So you're going for the ogre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it. Still in
Oakley,
wolf
I'm really
form.
upset. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I ruined your plan.
23.
That hits. Roll some damage, please.
Where the hell's my die gone? Oh, for God's sake. Okay, 10.
Cool.
10 to.
So as you leap up and bite down on it, you manage to pierce through, and you realise that the clothing that they're wearing is actually slightly more defensive than the chaps previously, but your teeth manages to punch through the expensive cloth and the chainmail underneath and goes straight through.
He needs to make a saving throw as well. Nearly forgot.
Yep. Sorry, how much damage was it? Did you say 10?
10, yeah.
10. Cool. That's fine. And strength saving throw.
DC 13.
DC 13. It's a 14. They pass.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so you manage to jump and bite into them, but because they're already sat down, they're kind of in a fairly stable position to just take a wolf to the back.
Alrighty.
Okay. Where are we? And next up, we've got Natasha, followed by James. You're on deck. Natasha, what are you doing?
How many targets we got?
So, there is an injured ogre on the right-hand side of the room. There are 3 bandits on the left-hand side of the room. One has stepped forward, drawing a sword. There is Lion White at the back, reclining on his chair, who has certainly noticed what's going on and is starting to stand up.
Would you say the ogre's in really bad shape?
The ogre's definitely injured. I wouldn't say
Okay.
they're in bad shape at this point.
So, I'm going to cast second level Bane on the guy who's starting, on the 3 bandits, and then the guy who's starting to look like he's jumping in. Does he look like he's about to jump in?
They're certainly close enough to one another. Let me just double check. So, spell Bane. 3 creatures of your choice you can see within range. They're all within 30 feet of you. So, yes. So,
But if I use second level, I can take up to
second
4
level, you can
targets.
take up to 4 targets. So, yeah, you could fundamentally cast Bane on.
The 3 bandits, and then that guy who's like eyeing up the battle.
Yeah.
The lion
Cool.
white guy.
Cool, and it's a charisma saving throw of 15 on those guys.
Okay, let's have a look.
No.
Charisma 15. Not one of them passes, so all 3 of them are hit with Bane.
Wonderful.
Or
4 of them.
Good admit it. Yeah, all 4
Sorry,
of them.
sorry, I had to roll for the
the
3
bandits.
humans separately. 2 seconds. Okay, and then the ogre. Yep, also biffs it, so they're affected.
Honky, did
Cool.
you want that on General Lion White or the ogre or the ogre?
The ogre's fine.
Okay, so the 3 bandits and the ogre are now affected by Bane.
Cool. So that means whenever they fail that saving throw, which they have done, whenever they make an attack roll or a saving throw before this spell ends, the target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw.
Cool. So it's minus 1d4 to attack and save bonuses.
Yes. And I'm just there in the background going,
Cool. So, James, you're up. Shathas, you're on deck. What are we doing? Cough. James, you're up. Shathas, you're on deck.
Sorry, I had my thing muted.
Well done.
I'm just going to attack the one nearest to me.
Okay, so that would be at this point because of where you've tried to sneak in the ogre.
Yeah. 12 to strike.
12 misses.
Balls.
Yeah, this
I
guy's
will
wearing
attack.
slightly tougher armor than the guys on the gates.
I do it again.
Yep.
I got an 11, so I
Also
presume